everybody. My name is Sandra O'Neill, and as most of you know, I've been a nurse probably since I was 2 years old. And the last time I was here, I ranted on and on about respecting all your body parts, and I had everybody cheering for their colon. Well, tonight I want to tell you about another adventure I had that started with a vacation. About a year ago, January, I needed a break, and I have a good friend named Kim, and we decided to go on a vacation together to San Lucia Lagoon in Baja California. And they have resorts there that take people to visit the whales. You can go up and pet the whales, and they come right up to the boat. And I thought, boy, that's what I need. Get away to nature and pet whales. On their website, they have pictures. Well, they're gray whales. There's not as big as giant whales, and they're ugly. But they just come right up to the boat. I couldn't wait to get there. So at the last minute, Kim couldn't go, so I went by myself. And I have another confession to make. One of the things I do that's kind of runs in the family is I talk to strangers everywhere. I live in Palo Alto, and I was at the car wash on El Camino the other day, and I said to this man who had a black suit on, a white shirt and a black tie, tall, gray hair, handsome. I just went up and I stood next to him, shoulder to shoulder, and I said, "You got to be the boss of something." I wasn't even looking at him, just shoulder to shoulder. He said, "No, ma'am, I'm just a public servant." I said, "No, you're the boss of something." And he turned around and he said to me, "How do you do? My name is Dennis Burns, and I'm the chief of police in Palo Alto." I said, "Well, I'm so glad to meet you, Chief, and thank you for helping me raise my teenage son 30 years ago when I was a single mom." He said, "I was on the force then. What's his name?" So I'm trying to be good and quiet on this vacation. I'm not going to talk to anybody. Just chill out. But I do notice things, different things than other people notice. And one of the things is, in this little resort, we all eat family style. And there's a funny little old lady that sits all by herself at the end of the table. But I'm not going to talk to her. No, I'm on vacation. She sure looks strange. And when she gets in the boat every morning, it's a low boat called a skiff. They call it a punga. We're down close to the whales. And she always sits on the end all by herself. But I'm not going to talk to her. So anyway, this day 4, we're out in the boat, and I'm enjoying the whales, and I'm enjoying watching people watch the whales. And she falls in the water. I'm on vacation, and the nurse, right? "Hey, everybody, she just fell in the water. We got to rescue her." And the guide on the boat said, "Who?" I said, "The little old lady that sits down there. She's not on the manifest." Nobody else saw her, just me. And I'm thinking, am I crazy? She fell in the water. She went away with the whales. Everybody said, "Calm down, Sandra. She's not on this trip." What is going on here? Well, I'm shaking. I headed back for lunch. And nobody else sees this. But as we get near the dock, the whales bring her to the dock. She's riding on one of them. And she gets off and walks up the stairs, the ladder to the dock. And there she is waiting for us when we get there. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Well, now I got to talk to her. So I move down to the end of the table and I say, My name's Sandra. What's yours? Mother Nature. What? Thinking, who's crazy? I said, really? And she said, yes. Mother Nature. And I said, well, you know, the best healthcare therapy voice I can think of. Tell me more about that. Well, the whales called me. Really? Yes, they said, you humans had changed. But I didn't believe them. They said, you got to get down here. They've stopped killing us. They come down just to visit us now. And some of them even put on these skins and come down and swim with us. So I came down to check it out, see for myself. Well, I said, you know, Mother Nature, that's, I saw what happened today. She said, yes, those are my whales. Okay. Well, listen, I live in Palo Alto. Here's my card. And there's a Starbucks right across the street from my house in El Camino. When you finished your research down here, come up there and give me a call. So I went back to eat with the other people and thought, I don't know, who's craziest, me or. But sure enough, 2 months later, she calls me and said, I'm in the Starbucks across the street. I found out where you are, and I want you to come over and talk to me. Well, I just gotten home from my exercise class, so I combed my hair and ran over there. And we started to talk. And she said, I'm come down here to check out to see if people really have changed. So we met regularly. Well, listen, it's time for me to introduce you to Mother Nature. Please come out. Frank, I told you to wait in the car. The bananas are in the car. And where's Mother Nature? Me either. Oh, I get it. They were kind of nice for balance and attitude. I think it was about 7 million years ago when the great apes, your ancestors, came out of the trees, started walking around. That's a good thing because you'd have to redesign all your garments. Would it be a sweater or bling, or what would you put on there? And then it would only get caught in the car door. It's a good thing. One more question. Yes?
Mother Nature, what's the purpose of moonlight?
What's the purpose of moonlight? Yeah. Okay. What's the purpose of moonlight? Well, some of you have been studied in school already that the moon doesn't really send out light itself. The light that comes from the moon is reflected sunlight. Right? Got that right? Yeah. Okay. But what's the purpose? Well, let me think. The moon goes around the earth. Earth goes around the sun. And the tides in the oceans change in response to the moon. And people have figured out that if you measure the moonlight, you can tell when the tides are going to change. But I think that's just because they're clever. I'm not sure the light causes anything, but people have learned to guide themselves by it. But I'm going to make a note and have Sandra Google that tomorrow. But the important thing that I've learned here about moonlight is so important to romance and songs and poetry. And that's so important part of my design for you. And we have to stop now, but when we meet again, I want to talk about my design for reproduction. Or Sandra likes to call it sex. So I'd like to thank you for meeting with me this evening. I look forward to our next meeting. And I'd like Frank to come out and take a bow with me. Would you come out, Frank? Thank you so much. Thank you. Hold that for me. Yeah. Did I?